So this recording is how to start the combustion centrifuge up using the super water fuel, which is ozone and hydrogen. So what we've got here is a chip that will do a basic start for me, and then it'll show me the current RPM, the delta RPM, the delta stress and the stress, so we can easily see it. Let's go and look at the fuel setup. There's another one running down here. So the fuel setup here, we've got just normal basic fuel, 2 parts as we used to call it volatiles, but now it's methane and oxygen. Over here we've got the super water fuel, as I call it, which is 1 part ozone and 3 parts hydrogen. Burns much hotter, burns over 6,000 Kelvin. This burns 2.5. So if we look here, we've just got pressure regulator at 20 kPa and another pressure regulator here at 20 kPa. We've got a mixer here, which once it's up and running I'll start adjusting, and we can see the fuel mix. So there's a tiny little bit of hydrogen ozone in there, but we'll ignore that. This is the same chip for this one here. Now this chip, all this one does is toggles this on and off to keep this at around 20 kilopascals. This chip here is just starting this. The reason it's not in there is because I just like sometimes to switch it off. So here we go, this one's all stopped, so let's start it up. So this is now starting on normal fuel. So we can see our RPM, our delta RPM. What I have noticed is if the delta RPM is greater than 1 or less than -1, then we start getting stress. Stress is going up, but now stress is decreasing. The overall stress is still going up, but the rate of stress is decreasing, as you can see. So that puts us in a good position because we know this is slowing down. Is it going to slow down fast enough? Ooh. We can adjust this. Where is it? It's up to 20 to start with. Oh, it's going quite fast, so let's give it a boost. Hopefully we can. There we go. Stress is now coming down. Oh. Got quite high. RPM increasing nicely, but stress is decreasing. And our delta stress is basically sat at -0.5. Delta RPM, it shows it's slowing down, but that's the rate of change is slowing down. So it's the chip will basically, once that stress hits 0, it will start doing the limiter, doing the throttle here. No, limiter, that was a throttle. Basically just keep increasing this until stress comes, and then it'll just wait for the stress to disappear. Right, So it's fully maxed out. So now it's fully maxed out. If we look at the fuel mixture, we've still got a tiny little bit of hydrogen ozone in there, but not much. So let's add in some high energetic fuel. So we'll boost it up to 20% going through and in. By the way, it's not a layer lock. All the chip does is it closes one door, opens the other. So it's just like a barrier door. Okay, so no stress, and the delta RPM, or the delta RPM, if you look at it, is actually now increasing, so more of the gas is coming through. Now it's going down, it's going down quite fast, so we can add a little bit more. If we do this at a good steady rate, we shouldn't actually develop much stress at all. But we can see the delta RPM is increasing, so it's getting faster and faster. Still got a long way to go, because it will get up to about 1200 revs per minute. So when that delta RPM, or the rate of change of the delta RPM, the delta RPM, effectively the second derivative of the RPM's change, then when that starts getting smaller and that decreases, and it's a good time to actually add some more of the fuel in. Still increasing, so we're getting more of the super fuels in. I think we're at 40% now, so if we look, at the ratio of O3 and O2, because they're both a 1-to-1 with their appropriate fuels, you can see that we're getting more of the super fuel mix in. Okay, the delta of the delta RPM is coming down now. So what I'm going to do is just add another 20% in. Then we'll let that stabilise. So the delta RPM is increasing again. Yeah, try and keep the delta RPM under 1, and it seems to not generate stress. So the delta RPM is now decreasing. Revs are still going up. add in more fuel. So we're at 60, so we're now at 80%. That may be one step too far because the revs aren't actually that high at the moment. But we'll see, we might get some stress. So delta RPM is increasing. I think it's going to go over 1 and we might see some stress appear. There we go, as soon as it hit 1. How interesting is that? So our stress is going up. Our delta stress is quite slow, but it's still small, but it's still going up. So our delta RPM is coming down, so our delta stress will come down. So I'm not going to add any more fuel in until our delta stress is negative. There we go. Where are we in the fuel mix? O3 is at 17%, O2 is at 9%. So as you can see, we've got a lot more O3. Fuel is still becoming richer though, but my stress and my delta stress is now gone. So let's go and top it off. The last right, we've gone to 100 now. So delta stress increasing, the delta RPM increasing, we'll hit 1, we'll get some stress appear. Hopefully the delta stress won't climb too high. Still climbing now. Now decreasing. And now the stress is decreasing. We're at fuel mix. So because this pipe's kept at 20 kPa, it doesn't take long to flush it through. So our O3 is at 3% less than its best ratio it would be, and that's taken up by the O2 and correspondingly with the CH4 and against the H2, but it's decreasing as you can see. So we're at 1153 RPM, still speeding up. We'll get to about 1190 and stops. So how fast does it actually process? And you can see the processing 35 So it's quite fast. 3 ticks, 2.5. Processing gold at the moment. Yeah, nearly there. So if I was to just switch it off now, we would be left with all the super fuel in there, and that would become difficult to restart without it overstressing. So what I found best to shut it down is to decrease the fuel mix. This will generate stress, hopefully not too much because I've gone quite a long way down. So it's almost there. But now I'm going to cause it to slow down. Here we go, slowing down. A little bit too aggressive going down to 50, but let's watch it. The rate of decrease of the RPM is still increasing. But it may have peaked. There we go. Nine, 8. There we go, so it goes under -1, so it's between -1 and 1, and therefore my stress starts decreasing. Right, let's reduce the fuel a little bit more. It's another 20%. See the delta RPM and the rate of change of that is decreasing, but no stress if it stayed under -1. So it's greater than -1, which I think it's going to do. good. Right, we'll do the rest of the fuel. This will generate more stress. If I have got a lot of fuel when I want to start it up, a lot of the energy fuel, this just allows me to clear it out, just pumps it into here. This is just hot gases that I use for this furnace. It's also through this pipe, it's also filled by the waste from this furnace, and this pipe links it over here, which then pushes it through Stirling engines. So if that gets a little bit high, it'll go. I'll clear it out. Okay, so we've got some stress. Good, decreasing nicely. This is coming down. But look at this. This is almost 28% O2, not 33, but again, stress is gone. This should go down to 512. That little bit of those gases. Now just turn it off. The script basically will reset everything and just let it stop. Pull the lever, empty it out. Okay. More stuff in this one. So basically it's just filling these up. Oh, we'll start it, or pull the handle. Empty. Alright, and let's just unload it all into here. Now we'll get ejected in here. And there we have it. So back to 0, 100, and they're all off. And that's the starting and stopping a combustion centrifuge running with hydrogen and ozone. Hope it's useful. Bye for now.